The atmosphere on The View that morning was electric, not the pleasant kind, but the kind that made everyone on set walk on eggshells. The producers had been promoting the episode for days. Hollywood's most humble star, Keanu Reeves, opens up about life, love, and legacy. Fans were excited. Keanu Reeves, known for his quiet charm and thoughtful nature, rarely did live talk shows. But this time, he agreed, hoping to talk about his upcoming project, a charity film series supporting children affected by war. When the cameras rolled, everything seemed fine. Whoopi Goldberg smiled warmly and welcomed him. Sunny Hostin asked insightful questions about his work. The audience was enchanted by Keanu's gentle laughter and humility. Then came Joy Behar. Joy leaned forward with that mischievous grin she was famous for. "Keanu," she began, twirling her pen between her fingers, "you've built a reputation for being Hollywood's nicest guy. But let's be honest, no one's that nice. What's your secret? A PR team that follows you around 24/7. The audience laughed awkwardly. Keanu smiled politely, clearly trying to stay composed. "No, I don't have a team like that," he replied calmly. "I just try to treat people the way I'd like to be treated." But Joy wasn't satisfied. "Come on," she pushed. "We've all seen the viral clips, you giving up your subway seat, chatting with homeless people. Are you doing it for the cameras, or do you just enjoy playing the saint?" Whoopi shifted uncomfortably. "Joy," she warned gently, but Joy brushed her off. Keanu's smile faded, his eyes steady but colder now. "I don't play anything," he said softly. "Those moments weren't for cameras. They were just moments." Joy chuckled, unfazed. "Well, if that's true, maybe you should teach some of your co-stars. I heard rumors about you and a certain actress not getting along on the John Wick set. What was her name?" "Anna." That was when the air in the studio changed. The audience murmured. The producers in the control room started waving their hands in panic. Keanu's expression hardened, a mix of disbelief and disappointment. "I'm not here to talk about gossip," he said, his tone firm but still respectful. "I came here to discuss something meaningful, the Foundation project." Joy laughed again. "Oh, lighten up, Keanu. It's just a show. We dig a little, we joke a little." He cut her off, not with anger, but with an icy calm that made everyone in the room fall silent. "There's joking," he said slowly, "and then there's disrespect." The audience gasped. Even Joy's smile faltered. For a brief moment, the cameras caught Keanu's face, that quiet pain behind his eyes, the kind of look that told 1,000 stories. The producers whispered through the earpieces, but it was too late. Keanu stood up, adjusted his black jacket, and said quietly into the microphone, "I think we're done here." He walked off the stage. The audience sat in stunned silence. Whoopi reached out to call him back, but Keanu was already gone, disappearing behind the curtains with the calm of a man who had made peace with his decision. Joy turned to her co-hosts, half smiling, half shocked. "Well, I guess he really is that sensitive," she muttered. But this time, no one laughed. Sunny spoke up first, her voice sharp. "Joy, that was out of line. He was here for charity, not drama." Producers rushed onto the set, signaling for a commercial break. The music swelled awkwardly as the screen faded to black. Minutes later, Keanu was seen outside the ABC studio, quietly talking to a group of fans who had gathered near the barricades. Despite what just happened, he smiled, took photos, and even signed a few posters. One young fan, a girl of about 10, handed him a letter and said softly, "I saw you on TV. You're really kind." Keanu smiled gently. "Thank you," he said. "Kindness matters more than cameras." Within hours, clips of the confrontation went viral. Social media erupted. Hashtags like #StandWithKeanu and #CancelTheView began trending on X and Instagram. Fans and celebrities alike defended him, calling Joy's comments disrespectful and embarrassingly unprofessional. Even former guests of The View spoke up, saying the show had crossed the line too many times. Joy Behar's team released a brief statement later that evening, claiming it was just humor, and that Keanu took it too seriously. But the public wasn't buying it. Meanwhile, Keanu posted nothing. He stayed quiet, as always, letting the world argue while he focused on what mattered. The next morning, paparazzi caught him donating at a local shelter. When a journalist shouted, "Keanu, any comment about The View?" He just smiled faintly and said, "I'd rather talk about helping people than arguing on TV." That single line spread everywhere, another reminder of why the world loved him. While The View scrambled to handle the backlash, Keanu's foundation received record donations overnight. Thousands of people gave in his name, inspired not by the controversy, but by his quiet dignity. And as one fan commented online, Joy tried to humiliate him on live TV. Instead, she proved exactly why Keanu Reeves is one of the few real gentlemen left in Hollywood. The next morning, The View was under fire. Social media hadn't calmed down. If anything, the outrage had grown louder. News outlets picked up the story, replaying the clip of Keanu walking off the set again and again. Did Joy Behar push Keanu Reeves too far? One headline read, "Fans call for ABC to apologize," said another. The comments were brutal. Viewers accused Joy of mocking decency and attacking a man who's done nothing but spread kindness. Even people who had never watched The View before were now tuning in, just to see the chaos unfold. By the time the show aired its next episode, the tension was obvious. Joy tried to keep her usual smile, but her tone was forced. Whoopi, sitting beside her, seemed unusually serious. Before they began the day's discussion, Whoopi addressed the elephant in the room. Yesterday's interview with Keanu Reeves didn't go as planned, she began carefully. Things were said that shouldn't have been said. "I just want to say, on behalf of the show, we have great respect for Keanu and the work he does." Joy cleared her throat. "Look, I didn't mean to offend him," she said, trying to sound casual. "It was a joke. Maybe it landed wrong. That's live TV." Sunny Hostin, however, wasn't willing to gloss over it. "It wasn't just about a joke," she said firmly. "Keanu came here to talk about helping children, and we made it about gossip. That's not fair to him, or to our viewers." The studio was silent. Even Joy had no comeback. Meanwhile, outside the world of TV lights and headlines, Keanu was already back at work, filming, donating, and quietly avoiding the media storm. But he wasn't completely untouched by it. His publicist gently suggested he issue a statement to calm the situation. Keanu refused. "No statements," he said simply. "People will believe what they want. I'll just keep doing what I do." And that's exactly what he did. 2 days later, a small video surfaced online, taken by a fan at a children's hospital in Los Angeles. Keanu was there, dressed casually, reading books to sick kids, making them laugh, handing out signed action figures. There were no reporters, no spotlight, just him, being himself. The clip exploded across the internet. Fans flooded the comments with words like, "This is the real Keanu," and "He doesn't need interviews." His actions speak louder. The contrast between his quiet generosity and Joy Behar's on-air aggression couldn't have been starker. The View's ratings dipped sharply that week. Sponsors reportedly called ABC, expressing concern about the backlash. Behind the scenes, producers reached out to Keanu's team with an apology and an invitation to return to the show for a clarified interview. But Keanu politely declined. "I appreciate the offer," his assistant wrote in a short email, "but Mr. Reeves prefers to move forward peacefully." That single line made headlines too. Fans called it the classiest rejection in TV history. Even celebrities began speaking out. Sandra Bullock, his longtime friend, posted a short message on Instagram. Greater than, "Keanu has always been kind, respectful, and grounded. Some people mistake calm for weakness. It's actually strength." Her post went viral. So did an older interview clip where Keanu said, "It's easy to be cruel. It takes effort to stay kind." By the end of the week, Joy Behar was forced to issue a public apology on air. She read it from a card, her tone stiff but controlled. "I want to apologize to Keanu Reeves for comments that were inappropriate and hurtful. I respect him and the charitable work he's done. It was not my intention to offend." The audience clapped politely, but many sensed the apology was more for damage control than remorse. Keanu never responded. Instead, he posted a rare message on his foundation's website. "Greater than, kindness is free. Respect is earned. Let's spend more time building each other up instead of tearing each other down. No names, no drama, just quiet wisdom." The message resonated worldwide. Donations to his foundation doubled again. Teachers shared the quote in classrooms. Celebrities reposted it. Even major outlets like Time and Variety called it the most dignified response in Hollywood this year. Weeks later, when asked about the incident during a press junket for his new movie, Keanu simply smiled and said, "That's all behind us. I wish everyone peace." And that was that. The world moved on, but the lesson lingered. Keanu Reeves had once again reminded everyone why he stood apart from Hollywood's chaos. While others shouted, he listened. While others fought for attention, he quietly made a difference. He didn't need to prove anything, not to Joy Behar, not to TV audiences, not to anyone. Because sometimes, the strongest statement is silence.